Let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray. This team's in a very precarious situation. Now, we saw what happened last season. You're no longer going to have Cliff Kingsbury be the head coach of this team. Jonathan Gannon, the former defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, is a brand new head coach of this team. And I think that's going to help out this team in the long term. But in the short term, they are in a bit of a bad situation. Kyler Murray is going to miss some of this upcoming season, recovering from a torn ACL. I do think that he'll return faster than some people may think. But when you take a deeper look at Kyler Murray, he isn't a bust, but he hasn't been a great quarterback either. And it hasn't been all on him. It has not been on Kyler Murray's shoulders, not all of the blame, because when you take a deeper look, Cliff Kingsbury was not a good head coach. He was a terrible head coach in the NFL. They either start off very hot or they start off very slow and they'll end the season better. Or in certain situations, they just didn't get off to the start that they wanted to. And they tried to put pieces around Kyler Murray to work this thing out. They traded for DeAndre Hopkins, who was a good wide receiver with this team. He did miss time due to an injury and due to a suspension. But when he was on the field, he was obviously the number one go-to target for Kyler Murray. So they had a good connection. He is no longer with this team. They went out and they traded for his college teammate, Marquise Brown. He always is dealing with injuries, but when he's on the field, he's a very good deep threat, has gotten better with drops over the last couple of years. And last season was his first season with this team. And they dealt with a lot of injuries. The offensive line was not up to par. Kyler Murray's always running around and he wasn't comfortable in that offensive system. Now, with that being said, Kyler Murray also has his own shortcomings as well. I'm not just talking about his height. We all get that he's undersized. He struggles overseeing some certain parts of the field. He struggles overseeing the middle of the field going deep, especially when it comes to 30 and 40 yards deep. But he can see things that go from sideline to sideline. And that's what Cliff Kingsbury tried to work into his situations. That's why DeAndre Hopkins was mostly split out wide with this team. Kyler Murray can see over the middle of the field at certain times, but due to his size, he can't see over the field a lot of times. And it's not me saying that Kyler Murray's terrible and that's why he hasn't had that success in the NFL. That's just the truth of the matter is his height. And most of the big plays happen across the middle of the field. Now, you have certain quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers who haven't thrown across the middle of the field deep in the last couple of years, and they're still successful. Kyler Murray can still be successful with the Arizona Cardinals. I'm not saying that they should just pull the plug and say, you know what, he's no longer a franchise quarterback. They can continue to build around Kyler Murray. I'm just pointing out some of the weaknesses. And he's always dealing with injuries as well. Half of it because the offensive line is so bad, and another half because of the way that he plays the game of football. He's a quarterback that is very electric. He's one of the most dynamic runners of the football in the NFL when you talk about being at the quarterback position. So he has a lot of untapped potential. They also went out and gave him a huge contract extension as well. So moving on from Kyler Murray isn't going to be easy as certain people think. I do think that there's going to be a situation to where they're going to be a very bad team for this upcoming season. They may win a couple games here and there that make you scratch your head and say, hey, there's something there. But for the majority of the season, they're going to struggle because they don't have a premier pass rusher and they're going to be without their star quarterback for most of the season. And I do expect for him to come back and play. And he may look a little bit rusty, but I do expect for Kyler Murray to come back and play this season to have an impact on this team. And it's not me just saying the Cardinals don't have any talent. They have talent. They have a good running back in James Conner. Their wide receiving core is not horrible. I like Rondale Moore. I like Greg Dortch as well. And I like Zach Ertz at the tight end position. Is he the same Zach Ertz he was a couple years ago with the Philadelphia Eagles? No, but he's still a very good tight end to have. And I like Trey McBride as well, the backup tight end. Eventually, you're going to have to move on from Zach Ertz because he isn't getting any younger. And also as well, the play has tailed down a little bit, but he still looked very decent tight end to have on the team. The offensive line should be better than what it was last season. You drafted Paris Johnson Jr. in the first round. I think that he could be a franchise right tackle for you, and I think that's going to be the best building blocks around Kyler Murray is give him more time in the pocket and make him be comfortable. So getting more offensive linemen to help out with this team is definitely going to help. The team tried to do that a couple years ago when they're making these trades, go get DeAndre Hopkins. They traded for Rodney Hudson, and they made a playoff appearance against the Los Angeles Rams. It wasn't because the Los Angeles Rams is a super overbearing team, even though they did go on to win the Super Bowl. The problem was Cliff Kingsbury got outcoached by Sean McVay. And he got outcoached by a lot of coaches in his tenure with this team. And I'm not just trying to say all of it was on Cliff Kingsbury. A lot of it came from the general manager's decisions as well, with them drafting Isaiah Simmons and that not working out. But Cliff Kingsbury definitely put this team back for the next couple of years. And I'm putting majority of the blame on him and his coaching style. Now, when I look at their defense, Jonathan Gannon has a lot of work to do. And I think that he's a very good defensive mind. Zaven Collins needs to be unlocked with this team. He's a former first-round pick, has played solid with this team, but he needs to take it up to the next level. They traded Isaiah Simmons to the New York Giants for a 7th-round pick. He was in a contract year, and they didn't know what the hell Isaiah Simmons was. They were playing him at safety in the preseason. He was a linebacker. When you drafted him out of Clemson, they already knew how versatile a defender that he is. When you draft versatile defenders out of the NFL draft, you have to find a way to use them in the best way possible. Not saying that Isaiah Simmons was a bust with this team. He has some very good moments. They just did not know how to use him. Hopefully he has a good year with the New York Giants, but I don't blame the Arizona Cardinals for trading him. They had no idea how to use him, and to be completely honest, he didn't fit Jonathan Gannon's system in the first place, because you have another good safety in Budda Baker, who they are going to be able to hold on to because they gave him more money. You know, early in the offseason, he was talking about he wanted to get traded, all those things. They gave him a signing bonus. He will now still be with this team, so that's a plus because he's one of the best safeties in the game of football. So I like to have him on the field as well. When you look at the pass rusher situation, no more J.J. Watt. He retired. He led the team in sacks last season. Bringing in B.J. Ojulari, a rookie from LSU, should definitely help out in the pass rushing department, but you're still going to be hurting a little bit because you don't have a premier pass rusher on this team. Hopefully Zaven Collins can come in and give you that pass rushing off the edge, because he can do that as well. He's one of those versatile defenders that you drafted as well a couple years ago. Hopefully he can fit into that role and give you pass rush. But I'm looking at B.J. Ojulari to come in and give you pass rush as well. It is more to this team than just the quarterback. I understand at the end of the season, if they're extremely bad, they have the Houston, Texas 1st-round pick. They have their 1st-round pick. It talks about them. Get Caleb Williams. Get Drake May. That could be a possibility. But it's going to be very hard to move off of Kyler Murray and for a team to give them the value that they want for Kyler Murray, because you know the Arizona Cardinals will not take a 2nd or 3rd round pick just for Kyler Murray. They're going to want a 1st round pick plus for their franchise quarterback. That's why I see in a situation to maybe they continue to build around him, get some offensive linemen around him, trade some of those picks and hopefully get some more defensive help. And you go into free agency next year, get some more veterans and put it around Kyler Murray and try to work your way from there. I understand building your franchise around a quarterback that's undersized and deal with injuries in the past and having those problems are a bit of an issue, but it's harder said than done when it comes to moving off of Kyler Murray. In my opinion, I would try to move off of Kyler Murray and see if you can get one of those quarterbacks and Caleb Williams and Drake May, just try to completely start over. But the Arizona Cardinals for the last couple of years have been a poorly ran franchise, and hopefully they can get things going into the right directions. And before I let you guys go, I do understand this with Kyler Murray as well. It's more than just the on-field thing with him. It's been the immaturity issues, playing the video games, not studying enough film, all those things, putting that in his contract. And the team basically embarrassed him when they put him in his contract and they made that public, that he had to study for all those hours and he wasn't watching film. I just think the whole situation with Kyler Murray, he wasn't putting in the right system. Hopefully this general manager here can open up Kyler Murray's eyes and they can get the best out of him. But I would not be shocked if they continue to build around Kyler Murray. So let me know in the comment section below, how do you feel about the Arizona Cardinals? Obviously, this team is way off from continuing from Super Bowl, and they are way off from making the playoffs. But they're going to be one of those young teams in the next couple of years. Hopefully, they're better than what they are right now. So let me know how you feel about Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.